Thank you very much for having me. And first of all, it's great to see so many friends and great to see, get to know more people. The logistic community and this binational community we've been integrating has been doing very well. We have very good numbers that I would like to talk about. And obviously I would like to thank this invitation to present here, to be with you, and obviously to talk more about what we can do as nations, what we can do as border community to make more opportunities and have this economic development growing even faster and even bigger. Thank you very much to Pharr for having us, for making these opportunities, and obviously they have a great big agenda in which we've been participating all along, we're hand by hand, and it's great to make this kind of friends and this kind of community with all of you. First of all, I would like to start with a video. Please help me, and well, just before starting, I would like to apologize in between because I have an Spanglish presentation, so hopefully you can handle the Spanglish of the event that we're about to show you.
Tamaulipas is the trade gate of the most important economic region in America. With a population of 3.6 million inhabitants, it has an excellent geographical location in the northeast of Mexico, sharing a direct border with Texas and the United States. Tamaulipas has the most connected border in Mexico. It has 18 international crossings with Texas, which positions the state as the #1 in Mexico with the highest trade flow with the United States, representing 41.6% of the total road flow in the country, and 54% of the total flow by rail. In addition, Tamaulipas has 3 seaports and 5 international airports, which allows for an excellent connectivity with the rest of the world. Tamaulipas has a diversified economy. Its main industries include foreign trade, electronic, automotive, energy, chemical, petrochemical, agribusiness, and tourism. With a strong local supplier base, Tamaulipas companies are linked to a global supply chain, meeting strict international quality standards. More than 850 transnational companies have chosen Tamaulipas to establish their operations and to keep growing. Like Caterpillar, Nidec, Aptiv, Panasonic, POSCO, LG, Black & Decker, Kemet, Uflex, and Emerson. This has positioned Tamaulipas as the 6th place in attracting foreign direct investment in Mexico. Tamaulipas is a highly educated region where every year, more than 7,300 engineers, 18,900 bachelors, and 3,700 PhDs graduate. The human talent, natural resources, connectivity, industrial infrastructure, and quality of life allow new investments to find a perfect place to develop their projects here. Tamaulipas is a region of opportunities, offering a great quality of life to its citizens and generating great confidence with investors. The transformation in Tamaulipas is underway. The state government works firmly for the generation of sustainable development with a humanist vision of well-being for all. Tamaulipas is your best investment.
Thank you very much. We're going to run through a presentation in which I would like to start. Obviously, a lot of you know where is Tamaulipas, what we have, but for the people that doesn't know where we're heading, it's just in the south part of Texas. We're a border with Pharr. And we've been trading a lot of the commerce that we've been working with. There's a great, hay una fortaleza muy grande, it's a big advantage in which we have been growing our infrastructure and crossing borders and obviously on foreign trade. So I would like to start from the beginning. Can you help me with the next slide, please? Or does this work? Okay, great. So this is where we are. Tamaulipas is just beneath Texas. It has a great and big border, obviously Pharr, which is part of it. But we not only have the border, we also have a coastline in which we have some of the seaports. Why I'd like to highlight these imports is because a lot of the commercial trade flow we have, it not only goes through the borders, but it has an intermodal connectivity in which the seaports has some of the imports and they go through the coast, they go through the borders, so we can make this trade more efficient. There's some numbers of the GDP right now we have. Tamaulipas is the 12th economy of the nation of Mexico. It has a great fortress in the maquila, in the industries we have installed, and this has to do with all of the advantages we've been growing, and we're going to present after some of the numbers we've been having in which new investment have been coming, and this makes more, and it has more advantages, and it makes harder and bigger the foreign trade we have with Pharr. Just a quick review of our state. We have 7 regions in which we highlight some of the advocacy or some of the economic sectors we have in both of them. Obviously, the border we have, it has a lot of the population and a lot of the economic development we have right now. Nuevo Laredo, the Ribereña sector, Reynosa, obviously, Matamoros, and then we go through more agricultural activities just as we go south. Right now we're talking about 1,300 companies we have installed. Most of them have to do with the automotriz, with vehicles companies, electronic, petrochemical, aerospatial, medic, energetics, and obviously agro-industry. This is some of the educative infrastructure we have. These are some of the qualities that we've been promoting, so we can have more investments. We can bring more companies to our state, so that we can make this economic development even harder. This has to do with foreign direct investment. As a border state, the United States is one of the biggest investors we have in the state, but some of the other countries have been growing a lot. Canada, Japan, France, Germany, and these are some of the companies we have installed. Most of them, and I would like to highlight this, most of them are installed in the border. This makes a lot of sense because all of the foreign trade that's been working in between our two countries. This is some of the infrastructure we have for the installation of new companies. I'm gonna try to go with this a little faster because I know foreign trade is what keeping us here. But just for you to know, these are some of the infrastructure we have that makes us be available to have new companies installing in our state. Okay, as going through investments, we right now in these 2 years of administration we've been working on in this state government, we've confirmed 117 new companies that have been installed. Most of it has to do with the Reynosa region. So this makes and gives a better idea of the foreign trade that has been growing here in Pharr. These are some of the potential new projects that we've been working on. As you can see, United States has a lot to do with, it has still been having to do with the investment we're running right now. And as the nearshoring effect that I think you already heard a lot of it, Asia companies have been doing a lot in our state in the last years. So how we are in foreign trade. Our state, as you saw in the last slides, our state is a big state that has to do with industry, has to do with the produce of new companies, and obviously has to do with the maquila sector and a lot of hard working there. So these are the main economic sectors that we've been working on. Chemical, petrochemical in the first place as the national position. In the third place that has to do with the producement of the big machines. In electronics and in TI, we have the third and the fourth place as the producers in the country. Why I mention this? Because these are the economic sectors, these are the economic companies that have been installing, and this is the position we have in Mexico. So this region of Reynosa, Pharr, it has been growing a lot, and it has to do with the machinemen producing and the electronic sector. So the state, as I just mentioned, has a big border in which right now we have 18 crosses. Of the 18 crosses, 9 of them has to do with the commercial cargo. And this is something that keeps us off the map, because right now Tamaulipas is the biggest one in this sector. There's no other state that has more crossings that has to do with the cargo, and obviously Reynosa is one of the biggest ones we have. I don't want to repeat the factors and the information that Pharr already mentioned. Number one in produce, it has a lot to do with, it's our second biggest crossing that we have in the state, and one of the biggest ones we have in the country. I believe they already mentioned them, but I would like to promote and why this has been doing with, why the foreign trade has been working through our state. So this is the highway system we have in our country, and there are 4 main corridors in whole Mexico. Why are these the 4 main corridors? Because all of the regions that have to do with the producement and has to do with the installation of new companies are connected by these 4 highways. And these four highways all of them go through our state. So that's why Tamaulipas has been known as one of the logistics most important logistics state of the whole country. Just Luis Bassano has mentioned Tamaulipas, Plataforma Logística de México. So this is the slogan. We've been working on this campaign to promote the state as what it is the number one in the trade flow we have between the United States and Mexico. Both of the railway systems we have in Mexico run through our state. Kansas City, Ferromex, Kansas City with the border operations, and Ferromex with operations we have on the maritime ports. This is some of the maritime infrastructure we have. Right now the state has 3 ports, one located in Matamoros that is called Puerto del Norte, and 2 located on the south part of the state, Puerto de Tampico, Puerto Altamira. Particularly, the Port of Altamira has a lot to do with Pharr. So in these multimodal operations I just mentioned, in which Europe run their goods through our ports, and these goods are processed in the States and then go all the way up through Pharr, is one of the multimodal systems that we've been working on. Joining the companies we have in the south with the companies we have in the border, so they can run through this corridor we have from the south part of the state all the way through Pharr, and we'll make it to the States. These are some of the aerial operations we have right now. We have 5 airports, and one thing I like to say about this is that Reynosa has been growing in the airport operations, Matamoros as well, but Tampico is right now announcing one new route which will join Texas even more than we have right now, with a new flight in between Dallas and Tampico. It's going to be a one daily flight that's going to join even more Texas and Tamaulipas. So right now, these are the numbers we have. And as I just mentioned, Tamaulipas is the logistic platform of the whole country, Tamaulipas, Plataforma Logística de México, and it's because of these numbers. So of the whole foreign operations Mexico do, 43.5% of it run through our state. We have the first place in these operations. So all the operations that happen inside Mexico, mostly half of them run through our state. So this gives us a big advantages, and having to do with railway operations between the states and Mexico, 54% of it run also through our state. So this is why we call Tamaulipas is the logistic platform of Mexico. Tamaulipas, Plataforma Logística de México, has to do with these numbers. So what we're working right now to even increase the operations we have in Mexico and make this advantage of being the logistic platform even bigger. Right now, ANAM, which is the custom national agency of the whole country, is installing their operations and their administrative offices inside our state. Why we are mentioning this? Because all of the people that used to work in this custom agency in Ciudad de Mexico are going to move to our state. This is going to give us a big advantages because a lot of the operations that they handle, all of the administrative processes they do, they're going to run it through our state, they're going to make it through our state, and obviously the time they have in response is going to be even quicker. So this is a big investment. They are working not only in the administrative offices, but also in some of security offices that they're going to be installed in our state. The Reynosa Pharr project, one of the biggest projects that the whole country is having. I believe Luis already told you some of it, but I won't feel comfortable if I don't speak of this, because this is a binational project in which we've been working hand by hand on how to develop and how to make this even bigger. So Pharr right now has the first place in produce in the whole country, and has one of the first places that has to do with dry cargo or with general cargo. So this is going to go all the way to the top with this project. Why is that? It's because we're not only duplicating the infrastructure we have right now with a second bridge, but also the investment that has to do with the connectivity in Mexico that is going to make the operations even more efficient, and the new installations they're working on in this part of the bridge in the United States, in which they're going to make even faster the process of the agricultural cargo that is running through in between the states. This solar project is something that has to do a lot with Pharr. It's not located in Reynosa, which it's hard to understand how it has to do a lot with Pharr, but it has to do a lot with the intermodal connectivity that I was talking about, joining our maritime ports with the border. So this project that we're working on, Puerto Seco, Ciudad Victoria, which is a dry port, it's an inner port that we're constructing right now, is going to be located in the center part of the state. Ciudad Victoria, some of you have heard of it, is the capital of the state, and it's a big project. It has to do with 1,200 hectares, which is something around 3,000 acres land site, in which we're going to develop an inner port, which is going to facilitate all of the custom operations that run through our state, which has with the border and the port, and also had a lot of land to the arrival of new companies, and they'll have a lot of advantages and a lot of new opportunities because they're going to have bonded warehouses in which the custom agency is going to operate directly, and they have a lot of facilities in the payment of the payroll taxes. So this project right now is one big project, and is going to join even more Pharr with our state, because a lot of the companies that are going to arrive to this project, its natural entry to the United States is going to be Pharr. So one thing we're working right now is that the expansion of the port, working together at the same time as the construction of this new project to give even more opportunities. Well, this was what we have to present to you. Hopefully our Spanglish version of the presentation worked for you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask for it. And here are some of the contacts. I believe the QR code is going to be hard to access, but if I'm going to give you some of my cards so you can have the whole information. Thank you very much.